Hello again. This is quite short and straightforward in a way before I hand over to Stama. So what I'm going to talk about now is about how mentoring may be not exactly organized, but how mentor and mentee might fit together and how the relationship might evolve. Because I think that's an important part of something for us to consider as an order or as a community if we want to set up a mentoring system based on our experiences. And what I'm going to talk about actually comes from a book that I've known for many, many years called Supervision in the Helping Professions by Peter Hawkins and Robin Showett. And although it's about supervision, the same principles apply to mentoring. So I just want to draw out some of the things that are from this book that I think can be helpful for us as an order and as a community. And I think the key idea I'm drawing on is that mentoring can be a developmental process. There isn't just sort of mentor and mentee, and that's a fixed relationship. There's a developmental process, an evolutionary process. And that developmental process has a number of stages, and I'm sort of showing it as 4 stages. One could talk about whether it's 4 or 3 or 5, but I'm going to suggest 4 stages, which are not rigidly linear, but there's a progression as the mentor gets more experience and as the mentee gets more experience. There's a sort of a transition going on. And so I'm suggesting that the first stage is where a mentee is fairly new to the organization, to the school, to the Sangha. And so what would the mentor-mentee relationship be in that sort of situation where someone's new? And it would probably be something like focusing on issues and questions brought to the session by the mentee. So the mentee says, oh, what about this and what about that? And I need to learn about that. And then the mentor would offer their experience. And this may include things like knowledge of Buddhist teachings and practices, what the immediate community can offer, other resources that are available that the mentee might want to access. And the mentor may want to suggest topics for the mentee to explore, like little projects or tasks for the mentee to do to support the mentee's development. And so it may include the mentor giving advice, for example, by sharing their own experiences relevant to a situation raised by the mentee. So for me, that's like stage 1. Stage 2, the mentor having a sense of what might be helpful to the mentee at the stage that the mentee's at. So the mentor's beginning to sort of say, okay, there's a developmental process. If this person is now established and clearly a member of the community, how can I support their development? So the mentor might be noticing recurring patterns in the issues that the mentee brings to the sessions. The mentee says there's this and there's that. And say they're meeting monthly and particular themes are recurring. And it may be, for example, that particular types of situation are creating anxiety or stress for the mentee. And then the mentor would be offering some experience and some help around that. Or there may be particular themes that are engaging the mentee's enthusiasm. And that would be particularly important to notice and to support, and for the mentee to have opportunities to develop their enthusiasm. And so that's important. And in these circumstances, the mentor may reflect between sessions on what they could usefully offer in future sessions. So the mentor's thinking, well, this is coming up and that's coming up and there's opportunities here. I need to sort of prepare something for the next session. And in that thinking about what to prepare, the mentor may actually decide to consult with their own mentor or with other practitioners in the school. So there's a sort of sense of a collection of people perhaps supporting that mentee as their needs and their developmental aspirations become clearer. So although they've got a mentor, there's a support system around them channeled through the mentor. And that may be a stage in which the mentee is progressing towards some developmental stage, for example, taking bodhisattva vows or becoming ordained in a way into the order. So that's the second stage. And then the third stage is focusing on the mentor-mentee relationship itself. And of course, in the first talk I gave this afternoon, the first session, I was talking a lot about the friendship relationships, and the mentor-mentee relationship is a friendship relationship. And over time, as the mentor-mentee relationship matures, it may be appropriate and helpful for the relationship to become more collaborative. So either party brings issues for exploration and reflection. And this could include either party encouraging or challenging the other on particular topics in a spirit of radical friendship. So at this point, the mentor and mentee, they can be challenging each other. The mentee could say, well, look, you do this, why do you do that? And I don't get it when you do that. So it's a sort of more two-way relationship, more equal. And I think that's therefore a maturing relationship. And then the fourth and final stage, in the way I've divided it up, is focusing on the development of the immediate order and the wider community. So the mentor and the mentee, in a sense, are now more like partners, and they could be working together. What are we learning? What is being learned through our relationship? What ideas and proposals can be contributed to the further development of the order? So this is about the order's development, and it could even be, how can that contribute? How can we contribute to the wider Buddhist community or the world beyond? If we're into engaged Buddhism, how can we collaborate on some interactions with the wider world? So that's more getting towards a mature, equal relationship, one could say, rather than one person has a responsibility for the other. There's a sort of inequality in the relationship there. So that's basically what I wanted to present. And